Good morning. So, have you ever wondered how it is that some people seem to glide effortlessly into their dream jobs? Well, in today's job market, it's not just about what you know, but how you navigate, particularly the unseen job opportunities. And I'm here to reveal some of those secrets. Let's just consider for a minute the state of the job market here in the beginning of 2024. Um, It won't surprise many of you to learn that it's a lot quieter than it was a couple of years ago. Last year, the whole of 2023 was a bit of a dank squib as far as the job market was concerned. Although all the reports are that I've seen was that the tech job sector was still pretty buoyant. A lot of the experience that you guys were having was that that wasn't necessarily the case, and there was a lot of people struggling to actually get the jobs that they really wanted. Um, we're moving into 2024. You might expect there to be some sort of an upsurge, but the market's fairly stable, but it's not going anywhere. Um, the bulk of uh, companies are in a position of we will hire when we need to, but we're not going to create the jobs unless there's a need for it. So that nobody's actually busting a gut to expand, create new openings, create new opportunities or anything like that. So there's no innovation, as it were, within the job market. Um, I'll say no, there's always some, but by and large, that is the case. So it's not like we're sitting here and the job market's buoyant. Companies are recruiting. They are recruiting to generally replace people that have left or to fill in the roles that are going to be needed for the new projects that they have signed or whatever. But it's not going to be we're looking to expand this area, we're looking to expand that, we're going to bring loads of people in here, we're going to expand our team, we're looking to set the world on fire, anything like that. That's not so far this year, as far as I can tell. But once again, a few sectors are standing out, they say, above others, and tech sector is one of them. Technology is still supposedly on the up, but it's, as I say, my experience of it so far with the people that I'm talking to on a regular basis is that it's not an easy market. However, let's go back to the original question. Do you ever notice how people effortlessly seem to glide into their dream jobs, even in a market that's flat like this? Well, there's a reason for that. Um, and it's as simple as this. They know how to navigate the market. They are already preset, prepared for the job when it becomes available. They have done their work in advance, as it were, to actually get in the job that they really want when they want it. They have put themselves into a position where people notice them. They have already had, I'm not going to say interviews, but they've already had meetings with people in advance of there even being a job available to understand and ascertain if there's going to be an opportunity for them within those organizations. They've they've done the groundwork. And that's enormously important to understand, that you can have your own, make your own control of any particular situation by not sitting back and being reactionary and relying on what's actually an effectively broken system, which is the active job market. And when you come to need a job, you're applying for jobs and you're getting nothing back in return. You're getting, as the Americans call it, crickets. As soon as you send your job application out to countless jobs, and if you hear anything back, it's thanks, but no thanks. That's the active job market. Occasionally you get lucky, and I think I've spoken to about 5 people in the last 2 weeks who have all told me the same thing. that they've been for job interviews and it's just disappeared, or it's gone silent, or it's, that situation. That's the active job market for you. That's how it, what happens quite often. The active job market is reactionary itself. Okay, we might need somebody here. Let's do a bit of pre-work on getting them in. Let's get some people up for interview, and then wait until they've signed their contract with their client before they can actually release the role. It's this sort of thing. So what we're seeing is a dichotomy. Yeah, I think that's the right word. The mechanism by which you can actually be in control yourself, and the mechanism by which most companies would like you to be working, which is the active job market. And in actual fact, it's not really true to say that most companies would like you to work that way. I think most hiring managers just want the right people in at the right time, and so they're fairly flexible about who they see and how they see them. But their recruitment process is a different matter entirely. So, how do you go about getting into that market? How do you go about getting in control? Well, I've spoken several times now, because I'm regularly talking about this particular scenario, and it's really about accessing the job market that's not seen. The active job market is particularly in the technology sector, and particularly in mid to senior management. Probably the active job market accounts for 20 to 30% of the jobs that are actually available at any one time. So when you're going out there and you're applying for job after job after job, notwithstanding the fact that many of those are repeated, you're only actually going after a small percentage of the jobs that are actually real at that particular time, or are likely to become real in the very near future. The trouble is that so's everybody else applying for those jobs. Everybody else that's on the market, that is, everybody else that's needs a job right now, or looks like they're going to need a job in the very near future, and so therefore they are the active job market candidates. Then they are out there chasing those jobs down alongside you, and it's a battleground. There's no other way of putting it. It's a battleground that's very difficult to win on. You have no control of the outcome. You are reactionary, you're responsive, and you get what you're given. Is as simple as that. There's no, okay, no, I don't want to work for that company. But however, it's always the way, isn't it? Let me just get rid of that entirely. The active job market is not geared up for your success. It's as simple as that. So, anyway, one of those things, isn't it? You get that phone doesn't go off for about 3 or 4 weeks, and all of a sudden, somebody wants to talk to me when I'm in the middle of a live recording. Oh well. Anyway, so that's the problem, is that the active job market, so many people chasing it down, not that many jobs available, and you're getting the crumbs that are left off the table when everybody else has been there. Occasionally, you may stand out yourself. And the only real way of having any control over the active job market is to craft a highly impactful profile CV that really is going to grab the attention and get you on top of the pile. But even that is you're reactionary. You're going after what's available at that particular time. Whereas if you take full control and plan your own job career campaign, is probably a better way of putting it, then you have already preceded where you're going. You've already been to the organizations. You've already spoken to many of the people that you may work for one day. They certainly know about you. They're certainly aware of what you can achieve for them. And very likely they'll come back to you. But even so, when you actually need a job, then they're much more responsive and aware of you. And when you go to them again, they may well be able to open the door for you. And that's how it's done. Uh, well, that's partly how it's done. There is much more to it than that. And that is what Career Mastery Revolution can do for you. We can open that job market, or we can help you to open that job market up in a way that you are one of those that seem to effortlessly glide into the dream job that you really want. I've got a number of strategies that can help with this. I've got a number of mechanisms by which you can be preceded, as it were, into the job market. And I even have a strategy that says it will work for you today. You can just go straight at it today, rather than having to plan ahead. If all of a sudden you find yourself out on a limb, then we can even ensure that you can get round to speaking to the people that you need to speak to in the companies that you're interested in, and working at a salary that is right for you, as opposed to having to take the dregs, to having to go for what's left and hope that it's good enough. So we have strategies for your success. The Career Mastery Revolution is a different way of approaching the job market. It's a different way of for you to be in control of your own destiny, of your own career, of your life. It's as simple as that. So, are you ready to master these strategies and take your career to the next level? Well, start by grabbing your copy of the Ultimate CV Guide, which will tell you how to craft the perfect CV. Well, there's no such thing as perfect, but how to craft a standout CV, a CV that will get you on top of the pile every time. If you follow the link that's with this in the description with this video for the Ultimate CV Guide, we will show you exactly the strategy for building an effective CV that will get you on top of the pile. My experience over 20 years is that people that use this mechanism for their CV are 3 times more likely to get an interview for any particular job that they go for. And I'm not kidding. I'm 3 times is probably understating it. Uh, you really do shine out because you are putting yourself out there as the person to solve the problem that the job is about. So even if you're just applying for jobs on the active market, the Ultimate CV Guide will set you head and shoulders above your competition. Get your copy of the Ultimate CV Guide. There is a charge, it's not free, but it's money well worth spending. It's when you consider how much it costs for every day that you're waiting for a new job, then the price for the Ultimate CV Guide, £24, is nothing. It's absolutely nothing. It's almost as if I'm giving it you away. So this has been James Foster. This is the Careers Mastery Revolution. I'll speak to you again, hopefully on Monday. But until then, have a good weekend and we'll speak next week. Thanks very much.